As most of you know, since I won't shut up about it, I'm pretty much primarily a gamer. I spend all my free time gaming, and when I'm not gaming, I'm reading about it, or writing about it, or talking about it, thinking about it, watching videos about it, making videos about it. So it should come as no surprise that of course I do play Android and iPod games as well. I actually used to be very disparaging against them. I didn't like the whole movement away from real-life gamers and those who just played casually. It felt like it was somehow tainting the purity of a gamer. I don't even know what was wrong with me. But I've since realised that that's a really stupid attitude to have, because you can't change the way that the gaming world is moving, and you can't avoid the fact that normal people want to play games too. And even saying normal people as though somehow gamers aren't just normal people is silly. So I moved away from that, and I decided instead to embrace the whole casual gamer, iOS gaming and Android gaming movement. I guess the only thing that's really sad about the whole thing is of course that it is taking away from the Nintendo Game Boy, DS and the PSP, because let's face it, who needs a dedicated games console when you can play all these things on your phone now? So I think that's pretty sad. I think that there is a very valid place for these games on the market now, and it's silly to try and claim that they're not real games or that they're not for real gamers just because they happen to be in the format of a phone as well. One of the first games I downloaded a few years ago when I got my iPod was a game called Doodle, in which you had to assist an alien by way of tilting your iPod left and right to go on further platforms to get up and up in the sky. Some platforms would give way under his weight and some would propel you further upwards, and it was really addictive, and I think that's pretty much the running theme of all of these games, that they are addictive and simple. The second one I downloaded was one that everyone's heard of and played, Angry Birds. I won't go into that. There's something incredibly satisfying about propelling birds at pigs. But everyone's played it, everyone knows it. It's pretty much the big success story in casual gaming and iPhone, iPod, Android gaming. Keeping the birdie theme, however, the third game I downloaded was a game called Tiny Wings, in which you have to assist a little bird who can't yet fly properly into the sky by helping him swoop and propel himself forwards with hills and mountains and such, and slopes that took him into the sky, and he had to get far before nightfall came, where he would instantly fall asleep and you would throw your phone out the window. When I got my Android, I downloaded Temple Run, which is shockingly beautiful, and I suppose it still weirds me out that you can have graphics to that level on something like a phone. It's strange to me because obviously I came from, gosh, the Amstrad days pretty much, and I've seen the evolution of these graphics, and it still weirds me out that you can get things like Mario 64 on a cart this big now. So of course seeing something like Temple Run on your phone is very, very impressive. I've also got simple ones like Fruit Ninja, where you have to swipe the screen to cut the fruit in half. Try saying that quickly. And it's simple. Again, it's just a little time waster, and I think that's pretty much the role of these games and the role they play in the gaming world. They are fillers, they're time wasters. They're something you do when you're on the bus or the train, or you're waiting for something to happen. I play mine quite often when I'm waiting for my PC to load up, or for something to load on my PC, because she's a bit slow and old now. And I don't think that they're any less a game because of it. I don't think that you can look at them and think that they're not real games or that you're not a real gamer for playing them, just because they are kind of filler games. I think what's also really interesting is the movement from a lot of PC indie games to the Android market. Now we've got Minecraft on the phone, which is an amazing PC game, and how they've managed to port it over to a phone when obviously it, you know, began life as keyboard and mouse combination is really impressive. I've also recently downloaded World of Goo, which again I've got on Steam, and started life as an indie PC game, and I think the fact that you can now port these games over so successfully is sort of a step in the right direction, because there is going to be a big cross between people who do play games a lot like I do, and I would call myself a gamer, and people who just want to play a game to kill some time, because games after all are meant to be fun, they're meant to be time killers, they're meant to be something you do when you probably could be doing something a lot better. And I think that they are really, really addictive and silly, and that's pretty much all I ask for in a silly little game like Fruit Ninja, really. So yeah, I'm going to keep this video really short because so far all my videos have been nearly 10 minutes long, but I was just wondering, do you play these games? Do you find yourself addicted to them, or do you think they're silly and time wasters and you'd rather read a book or do something else instead? Do you think that they are, like, bad for the gaming movement, or do you think that they work alongside it? Do you have any favourites that I haven't mentioned? Maybe you've got this hidden gem that you would like to promote, or maybe you don't even have an iPhone or an Android and maybe you still play Snake on your Nokia. in which case more power to you, because Snake was a really, really good game.